our next example is a football one also. Athletics came to us recently and they said they wanted to play some music videos on the Jumbotron over at LaVell Edwards Stadium during breaks at BYU football games. So again, same question, we're wondering, do we need to go get permission to play music videos on the Jumbotron, and here's what that might look like. Now, I know everybody who was at the game on Saturday says it was electric enough as it was. We didn't need Justin Timberlake, and you're right. The football team did great. But if we're going to analyze this, again, there are 3 different copyrighted works actually in that one video that we need to look at separately. So the first one is the music composition. That's the song and the lyrics. The next one is the sound recording. Justin Timberlake actually, that recording of the song, and then the video piece. So all 3 of those are different, and we have to look at them separately. Then we also, again, have to think about which are the exclusive rights are implicated by this. Now, hopefully this is becoming a little familiar by now. Does anybody think they know? We're at LaVell Edwards Stadium. There are 60,000 people there. Does one of these rights stick out as, who wants to take a guess as to what at least one of the 2 exclusive rights that are implicated? Number 5. Well, this one, actually, because it's a video, it's a performance, not if it were a still photo in front of 60,000 people, that would be a public display, but since it's a video, it's a performance of the video. So number 4, and then I think that we're probably not going to stream this just straight from YouTube onto the Jumbotron at LaVell Edwards Stadium. We'll probably have a local copy that we're making of the video there, and so I'm assuming there's going to be a reproduction for this use. So those are the 2 rights. And so in analyzing this, we need to walk through the decision trail a total of 6 times. Okay, I'm just trying to help everybody understand that when our office looks at these, this is a live question that actually came to us, and this is exactly how we thought about it. We went through for the music composition, the sound recording, the video, and then each of the rights separately. Okay, so if we look at the reproduction piece, again, this is the local copy that you need there at LaVell Edwards Stadium to do this. And by this point, we're familiar. No, that's not in the public domain. We get all the way down to the fair use analysis, and this is literally when we ran it through Fuel. Look at that. But it leans in favor of fair use. The reason it does is because, to the best of our knowledge, there's not a place you can go to buy music videos. If there were a DVD store or something where we could get a DVD of the Justin Timberlake video, we would go and buy it, and we wouldn't have to worry about this issue. But because there is no market, to our knowledge, for purchasing and owning music videos, we don't think we're disrupting a market, and so the fair use just barely comes out in our favor, so we feel comfortable with the reproduction. So for those, we feel like you would end up down here, where you'd be permitted for use, and we can fill in that row. The same analysis would hold for all 3 of these works, so we just fill in that whole row. Okay, now if we turn to the public performance piece. Again, Can't Stop the Feeling is not in the public domain. It's not something we have permission for. Oh, excuse me, we do have permission. The reason is because BYU pays a big annual license to ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. It's a blanket license that we pay for all the public performance of music on this campus. So congratulations, BYU. The Dion Concert Hall, football games, when you're in the Cougar Eat downstairs and you hear the music over, all that music has all been paid for. The public performance of it has been paid for by the university. So, and it applies, to the music performed at football games. Okay, so now we're on to the sound recording. As it turns out, if you remember from the beginning, there's no public performance right in sound recordings except for digital audio transmissions. We're not trying to run Pandora or Spotify with this, so we actually don't even have to worry about the sound recording. That's not applicable. All right, now the video. We're going to be performing this video on the Jumbotron in front of 60,000 people at LaVell Edwards Stadium. We know that it's not in the public domain. We don't have permission for it. Is it fair use? We did this. That's where the needle came out. That's a no. which means that we think we would need to go and get permission. So that's exactly what we recommended to athletics, is that they go and seek permission. And sadly, when they did that, the price came back a little higher. I mean, athletics has a nice budget, but it was more than they wanted to pay. So sorry, Cougar fans. Let's go win some bowl games and get more money into athletics so we can all enjoy Justin Timberlake at the next season's football games. Yeah, yeah. In deciding whether or not we could show the clips of the videos that we've shown, we went through Fuel, and we concluded, well, actually there's an exemption. Remember that third question that we grayed out because it doesn't apply to social media posts and other things. In a classroom setting, which this is, we're in training setting for nonprofit educational training purposes. There are specific exemptions that apply there.
And let me just make one clarification. The face-to-face teaching exemption is different than if you want to post things online. So that is a distinction that we need to make. If you're posting something on Learning Suite or to a website or whatever, that is different than what we're doing here today.
Yeah,
so
that's important. So one final takeaway from all this is we kind of saved this one till the end so you get a sense of, it can get a little tricky and complicated, but if you just peel back and look at each layer individually, you know, the analysis you're going through will get you to the right answer. And in a case like this where 5 out of these 6 boxes are green, basically, but this pesky little 6th box down here requires permission, the whole project requires permission. So that's another kind of key takeaway. It's not just enough to say, oh, my use of that image was okay, but the music behind it wasn't, so I'm just going to go ahead and post the video to YouTube or whatever. You got to look at them all separately.